Joining the show today, once again, winning captain of the first minor league cricket championship, newest overseas member of the Melbourne Renegades, and brand new husband, Unmukt Chand. Unmukt, thank you for joining, and congratulations are in order in so many ways.
Thank you. Brand new husband was a nice line you gave me.
Yeah, maybe I'll put it underneath your name there, new husband. That'll be your title.
And as my status now.
Well, at the beginning of a long innings.
Yeah.
Speaking of your wedding and your new marriage there, after the BBL wraps up, do you have any extended honeymoon plans?
Well, because of the so-called 2-month restriction, which I have in order to qualify for the USA national team, I think my 2 months are going to get spent here only in Melbourne. So yeah, hopefully my wife can join me here on the 18th, because the borders are opening up on the 15th as of now. I hope there's no further delay. I hope there's no new variant which comes in again.
Right.
And, join me on the 18th, and then obviously we can be here for a month. It's a nice place. It's a beautiful city.
Great.
We can straight away head to San Francisco.
All right. Well, that sounds like fun to me. I'm sure all the BBL fans and players are wishing the same thing you are for no new COVID. So you're the first male Indian cricketer to play in the BBL. Of course, Harmanpreet Kaur plays for the Renegades, the women's team, and had an amazing season herself. Does this distinction of being the first Indian in the BBL, does that mean something special to you?
Well, to be honest, I think it's a great new sort of a journey for me in terms of league cricket is concerned, and I never thought that a year back that I would go on this path. And I think life has its own ways of showing you different things, newer paths, and I'm really happy that I'm treading on a new one now. And it feels good to be a part of this franchisee who has been very successful in the Big Bash and has a great fan following as well. And really happy that I can I'm a part of this, and hopefully we have a good season this time. And it feels great that I'm here with them, and the tournament is underway.
I spoke to the GM James the other day. He had a lot of great things to say about you. He also conveyed that the Renegades are a family team. I got a really warm feelings from him talking about the franchise there. I think they seem to have their act together. It seems like you've got yourself on a very good franchise.
Yeah, it's a good setup. Most of the boys have been playing together, because most of them, especially the local boys, they are from they play for Victoria, so they have been together last few years. So that sort of helps building the core of the team. So core of the team is the same, and with new additions like Nick Madison comes in, and Zahir Khan comes in from the Stars, and many other players who just come in because they know where they need to fill the gaps, which they have done really well. And I think it really gets the team better, and that's what they've been trying to do. It's a good environment, good setup, and I see a lot of positivity around the group, so which is nice.
Yeah, there was a really close win the other night, and you mentioned Zahir. He bowled very well in the game. You have some very talented overseas players on the team along with yourself. How do you approach a situation like this where you're waiting for your turn, and this happening just after you had an excellent minor league cricket season, which probably earned you your way there?
Well, this is basically it's welcome to league cricket, because obviously anywhere we go we play as overseas, so there's a certain quota of players that can only play for the team. In Big Bash it's 3 players out of the number of 6 players you have overseas. So I think it's more to do with combination. Sometimes I mean, I know it's not a ideal situation to be setting out initially, and I have been in great touch myself in terms of my batting is concerned. I've had some good minor league and so many other tournaments which I was playing in US, and I feel really good. I got a game here, practice game. I got a 43, so I'm feeling really good about my batting. But just that sometimes combinations is something which our team looks at, and the combination with which they are going on is something which is for them it's better for the team. So I just got to wait for my chances. Whenever they come, I should be ready, and that's what I'm trying to do. It's important to keep my head in the right place and not think too much and think out of the lines, and just keep doing things which have given me success, and try to be in a good space, and whenever the chance comes, it's a long tournament, try and make the most of it, and do what I do the best.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We spoke in North Carolina following your championship win. That was quite a weekend. Really put a great exclamation mark at the end of minor league. You performed incredibly well, especially towards the second half of the tournament when your team really needed it. You guys needed to win every game pretty much at the end there to keep your playoff chances alive, and you did a phenomenal job there. How did you see the minor league progress this year? Were you impressed by Church Street and the environment you saw when you got to the final?
Well, absolutely. I think I've said this before as well. The tournament, it was a long tournament again, 14 matches, 14 matches for every team before the knockout. So the competition grew intense as we were approaching the end, and I mean some really good matches, really good teams, really good players, and were there, and having played around the country because of minor league, sort of expanded the horizon as well in terms of looking at different conditions are concerned, and most of our games were played on turf wickets, which was a good thing. And I think the competition was very good. I had never thought that this was the amount of cricket which was being played in US before, and such a successful minor league stint the very first year, I think it speaks volumes of what US has got, and what the potentials are for the next season, and even the major league, and so many good things happening in US cricket as well. So really look forward to now the next season, and I'm sure that teams are going to increase as well, and teams are going to get better as well. There's more professionalism in the group. In what I saw, I mean, even the local players who were just playing initially, they also know that in order for them to be a part of the minor squad, they have to work hard. So everyone is sort of working hard. Everyone knows the importance of these matches, and which is good. I mean, as a professional, you always want to have more professionalism in the group, which is nice, and I think it's getting really good now.
Yeah, your team, well, in order for a team to be successful in the minor league, there's 27 teams and not many teams make the playoffs. And in order for a team to be successful, you have to have contributors from every category, the pros and the locals and the young players. And your team did one of the best jobs of having contributors from all of those categories. So, it was very impressive to see, even now looking back on it, reviewing the stats and reviewing the contributions across the league. It's pretty apparent to see why that the top of the table in your division did so well. Those three teams in Northern California had contributors from all of those categories. So we're starting to see what it takes to be successful in that league. And you guys helped put the blueprint together for that, for sure. The young batsman that opened with you, Rahul Jarawala, he's a teenager, and he just led USA Cricket's men's national championship in runs. I spoke to him last week. I did an episode with him, and he had a lot of good things to say about you. Do you have some good things to say about Rahul?
Well, he's a great bloke, and great US national team is concerned. Very nice guy. Wants to learn, which is good. He has that hunger to learn and to improve, which is very good. And the only thing which I always keep telling him is keep working on your fitness. Make sure that you are moving around, you're training well, because he's a keeper and a batsman, so you got to be extra fit as when as far as the game is concerned. And I think he's a natural stroke player. And I think by scoring these hundreds, I sent him a message as well that it's good to see him score those hundreds, because stroke players, what usually they do is they have a quick fire 40s 50s, but they're not able to convert into those big innings. And by seeing him doing that in the national championship is a great thing for him as well, and for US as well, because you want players to finish games. You want players to get, if they're set, make sure that you finish the game. That's what we were having a discussion in the minor league as well, that whichever player sort of sets, right, who plays a couple of overs, make sure that he finishes the game and doesn't leave it midway. And this was a sort of a thing which was there in our group. We try to make sure that we have heroes for every games, not just one or two guys, because championships are won by the entire team, not by one or two people. One or two people can win you games, but not championships. And which was the reason behind our success. And we had it coming from all over, from all the 11 people in the group, and even the ones who were sitting out, they contributed at different times. Dave did well when he was given the chance, and so did others as well. So it's good that he got those runs, and I am sure that he's going to work even harder and claim his positions by scoring more runs and getting more dismissals behind the stumps as well. And I think he's a great lad, and kudos to him and best wishes.
Excellent. Yeah, he had told me that he wasn't exactly in the best knock. He wasn't in the best form heading into the national tournament, and yet he still managed to pull that off. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're not in the best form ever. But if you can just stick with it and stick to your guns and do what and not panic, you can pull out a performance like that from seemingly from nowhere. But obviously he has the skills to get it done. So it isn't from nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, you always don't feel very good sometimes when you have a great mindset before the tournament. Even when the tournament starts, you're not able to deliver those performances. Sometimes you're not in the greatest frame of mind, and then this is a funny game at the end of the day, and you just have to be ready on match day. Make sure that you have tick marked all the boxes which need to be done before the games, and go in with that positive mindset where you're just thinking about getting runs, winning games for the team. And if you can put yourself into that mindset and still do things which are required of you, I think you are in the right direction. And I think that's good that he could do that, and which is very good.
The consistency of your discipline, it's pretty famous. I've heard stories of you refusing snacks or something like that because it was too late in the night, and you have a strict rule about when you eat and when you do things. And that consistency, that discipline really drives the point home of how hard it is, how dedicated you have to be excellent, to be the best version of yourself. How important, I mean, do you feel that that's a very important part of who you are as a cricketer?
100%. I think fitness is one of the most important things, especially in the shorter format. And knowing that in US we are going to play mostly T20s and one days, I think it's a format which requires you to be fit, which requires you to be agile. And the first thing when I came to the US, which I saw was unhealthy eating habits, and people don't train that much, because coming from our environment like in India, I mean, everyone is so driven because everyone wants to play for the country, and the competition is so much that you don't need anyone to keep telling you or spoon feeding you. Because you're a professional, what you have to do, what you have to eat, how much you do to train, when you have to sleep, and all those things. But when I came to the US, I mean, the diets I saw of players who were playing was something that really turned me off. And burgers and everything. I mean, cold drinks and everything, soft drinks. So which is not good. And I try to, because sometimes when you're in such an environment where people are not so driven, it's easy to get carried away. But as a professional, it's important that especially in environments where you don't have the right people around you, you still got to do the right things and make sure that you make it a habit. And once you do that, it also automatically goes on to the other players as well. So I think even in my team, I try to make sure that even when we are going out for get-togethers or dinners, we are not ordering pizzas and all those things, or we are not going to those places where such food is getting served to us. We are going to places where we will have healthy food. We'll make sure that we can still have fun, right? Doing all those things, and
Yeah.
eventually mindset also changes. And I think more than saying things, it's what your attitude rubs onto people. What you do is what actually is seen and imbibed, and that is what I try to do the most, especially when I'm with these youngsters. I make sure that I'm even harder in front of them, and so that they understand that, okay, fine, if they have to play for the country, if they have to do certain things, the way they have been training till now or eating till now is not going to help them, and that's not going to happen in front of me. So at least by doing that, what happens is you get them into a right mindset, so that at least they know what's right for them, and they take it seriously. Because I want to, because me coming to US, I really want US cricket to grow. I really want this country to to qualify for bigger championships, and do well and compete against the top teams in the world. So to do that, we have to make sure that all of us are preparing are going in the same direction. So it's a collective mindset which has to, everyone has to think on those lines if we need to be successful as a country.
Right. And along those lines, the Men's World Cup was announced for USA as a co-host in 2024. So we don't have long. Traditionally the host automatically gets into the tournament. I haven't heard that that's not happening. So it seems like to me we got to get rid of the sodas pretty quickly. We've got to get rid of the Coca-Colas and all that stuff, and adopt your mentality pretty soon. How far do you think we have to go as a country, as a cricketing nation, to compete on the biggest stage?
Well, we're going the right track. We just have to, obviously, competing against the top teams. It's gonna take some time, and obviously, when you look at countries like India, Australia, England, they have been playing this game for so very long, and they have a proper structure in place. The whole ecosystem is there, which actually supports players to come on their own and develop into better cricketers. The competition is there around the country. So obviously it requires effort from all sides. It's not just cricketers, but the entire ecosystem has to develop in terms of cricket is concerned. We all have to speak the same language in terms of cricketing language I'm talking about. So I mean, there's a huge role for administrators, cricketers, trainers, physios, so many support staff, because I feel that everyone has to grow together if we want US cricket to grow. It can't be just one way or the other, right? So I think with the way which I've seen things in the last 7 months, it's great. But I mean, there is huge scope of improvement as well. There's lots to do as well in terms of grounds are concerned, in terms of better facilitating players in terms of practices are concerned. I feel that still we have to develop on our practice routines, because we don't have adequate resources in terms of practice facilities are concerned, turf wickets are concerned. So that has to come in really quick if players are going to the next level. So but I'm sure that with the right people out there, and everyone chipping in, it's going to come, and things are going to move forward as well.
So if so far in your time there in the nets, who in Melbourne has impressed you the most? Which bowler has given you the hardest time?
Well, it's not the hardest time. I think the boys are good. Obviously, Nabi, Zahir are good bowlers. Reese is there. So, I mean, they have been playing for the country, so it's Nabi has got a great experience behind himself, which is good. The other players also, Pattinson is there. He I've played against him. Kane Richardson, I've played with him when I was in Rajasthan Royals, and so couple of players I've played with. The new blokes, the Aussie guys who are there. Will Sutherland, he's a good player. So I mean, these are the players who you need to look forward in the future, playing for the country as well. So it's a great talented bunch, and I'm sure that a couple of them are going to definitely represent Australia in the future.
And have you been following the Ashes? And who is your pick to win the Ashes this year?
Yes, I've been following the Ashes and I've been watching it. It's going on the screen right next to me.
Right.
Obviously, being in Australia, I would support Australia, and I've always loved watching that. I think the bowling attack which they've got is one of the best in the world.
For sure, for sure.
And I feel like it's going to be Australia this time.
Well, Unmukt, thank you for joining me, and best of luck to you. Let's hope you get in some games here soon. But either way, enjoy yourself and enjoy your new marriage and your time in Melbourne, and hurry back. Don't get any ideas of sticking around over there.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I will come back. I'm already missing US.
All right, great talking to you.